the updated cards for Enormity as well that I was supposed to send to Derek too. But I didn't do
And we're live! Cold start! Every time.
that. Hey, Derek, don't worry about your minis.
Welcome everybody to Co-op Guild. This is our cooperative chat where we do a live chat as much as we can, talk about various board game topics. And it's Bairnt and me today hanging out. So, and apparently we need to send Derek some stuff.
Here on today, we're gonna do some stretches. We're gonna stretch our brains and our bodies.
That's right.
If I tried to stretch my body, it would probably break.
Derek, it's in the mail. Yes.
Yeah, it's in the mail. Totally good.
So, I got a lot of friends here. Hey, Tim. Hey, Chris. Hey, Pickle. Kim's here. Awesome. Stacy, nice to see you. Darren, Greg.
Oh, I should hit that boss before everybody else kills it.
Hey, Cassie. Yeah.
I was get on and it's like, oh, you're training.
Yogi, nice. Fight. Lots of friends. Cool.
Training.
Yeah. So no, Derek. He is actually going to be going to UK Gaming Expo. So we'll have some fun information from him later.
With a mace when I only roll a 6. What's the guy's armor class? 4. A 1
damage. You have a lot of boosts. That's why you're leveled up pretty high.
1 damage, and you called it crushing.
That's on my update list. Is change different descriptors. So
how about you rolled a 6 and tickled it
from below?
From below.
Then we get that reference.
It's so bad, my guy. So bad.
Okay, but yeah, we're here. We're going to just catch up on a few things because it's been a while since we had a nice, nice chat. So we're going to talk about a bunch of games we've been playing. So if you want to hear about our thoughts and opinions and experiences, you've come to the right place. We cover a lot of different games today.
Yes, we are.
So let's start. Start the fun.
Sure, Steve. I want to hear. I'm excited to hear what you've been doing because you know what I've been doing because I had to text you it because hey, nope, we're gonna start.
No, we start with you.
We're gonna start with me because I guess I'm the star of the show as usual.
With Nanolith, which you guys have been playing a lot on the channel lately. So
yeah,
I've been catching your streams as much as I can. But yeah, seems pretty cool. You guys seem to be. I cannot talk to this morning. You guys seem to be liking this one.
Yes, we do. We enjoy this one a lot. This one was. I was surprised at how unknown this was, because I really thought it was a way more mainstream game. I thought it was like one of those ones coming out that was like the next one that people are waiting for in the mail. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But when I started doing unboxings and thinking about playing it, really didn't get the compassion and drive I expected it to. But the game is really good. I like the fact that they're short, bite-sized encounters that and you have to control all 4 people. I like the idea of the game itself. Really feels like this dark matter theme where they kind of do that whole wake up and not really know what they're doing or why they've been woken up or what their goal is. They're just told to kind of do something and kind of like, okay, I guess that's who we are, but we don't really know. And then as you play through the game, you're supposed to, I guess, learn more about these characters through comics and stories, which is supposed to be really which I'm looking forward to. We haven't gotten that far in the game. We've only played 3 missions in it, but I do enjoy the fact that you can kind of set things up, do 1 mission, everything usually in about an hour and a half to 2 hour time frame, which I think is a key in this for me at this age in this time in my life. Being able to put a 900 hour game on the table has become a little bit less appealing because I don't really have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Table space is a premium right now because I've got other people that want to use the table for other things. But this one is basically it's a dice placement to activate abilities in encounters. You're taking on right now we're taking on these like robots and mutated people or something, and we'll see where that all takes us. Because like I said, I like the fact that you're not just like, all your life you've lived in this one village and all of a sudden the dragon attacks and eats your mom and now you have to go slay the dragon. It's like, okay, now I really get the whole idea. Like this one is way better when you don't really know what you're doing, you're just doing it. How dare they use yes, exactly, my table. My table.
Hey Ron, how's it going? I'm curious on this one because there's been a lot of sci-fi crawler type games come out lately. And is this one We don't need to compare to all of them out there, 'cause there's a lot of them. But is this one more? Would you say is more on the narrative side than just the crawler side?
I'm actually excited that this one came out before the other ones. So I think it would have been overshadowed by some of the bigger names coming out soon.
Okay.
But it has its mechanics or mechanisms are different from what I've been reading from some of those. Like these, like with it being a dice placement game, I think it's a lot different than the ones that are coming out. Like I know Stars of Arcarius just delivered again, but technically it's a new game. For the most part. And then what else is coming out? There's that. What's the one coming out very soon? That I know Rogue Angels is coming soon, but there's also
Phantom
one.
Epoch?
Yeah, Phantom Epoch. And again, that one's not really going to be a dice placement one, so that's going to fill a different void or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think those are a lot more. I think you're going to find very similar. What they're attempting to do is going to be very similar in the long run, but I think getting there is going to be a different experience.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of asking about, because there's a lot of them lately, and trying to help filter out which one might be best for each viewer, I think would be useful. At some
well,
point.
see, that's what we're for. We play them all, and we tell them what it's all about, and then they can decide which one they want.
Yep.
And then we spend all the money on all the games, and they only have to buy one.
That's right.
But then we get the joy of having all of them.
The joy.
And upset wives.
I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Robin really loves having all those boxes in the house, right?
Yep. But, yeah, no, but this one was a surprise to me. This one was a lot better than I shouldn't say better. It was what it did was different than what I expected it when I originally was reading through what it was going to be. I'm not surprised that it's good. I'm more surprised of what the story how the story is unfolding, and I'm also surprised at how well it works. Just being those small bite-sized encounters. I was afraid sometimes when you got like dice placement and these one little small map or something, like, okay, so I just stand in the middle of the thing and hit it over and over again.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I kind of was afraid of. But no, like you're going all over this map trying to like do different things while you're trying to keep the monsters at bay and things like that. The combat is kind of reactionary though. I don't know if that's something that people are interested in, because the monsters kind of come out all the time from what we've noticed so far. There you go.
Cool.
So
Let me jump to another one we've been playing.
And we'll be playing it again this Tuesday. We did not play this Tuesday because sadly my wife fell ill.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, that might be... There we go. That's a good tie-in. Let me jump to another one with my wife being ill.
What did you do? What did you play? Pandemic the Cure?
No, Super Squad High. Which...
This is a segue?
This is a segue, because I had planned to play this with Kim, but she was sick that day, so I played without her.
All right,
There's
segue.
So yeah, we played this on the channel Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. It is a worker placement superhero game where you are managing being a superhero and also being a student at school and trying to like get your work done, schoolwork done, relationships and meeting with people, but also fighting crime at the same time.
I see. So you're Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very apt description, actually. Yep, Spider-Man. It's a pretty cool one. I enjoy it. I enjoy the co-op a lot more than the solo on this one, because it's got a fun, it's got a memory aspect to it, which you can skip out, but it's fun to tell stories and kind of like get into the game a little bit. So you got all the leeway to do the heck out of it. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, this one is the pre-order's still up. It's not out yet. It already backed. The crowdfunding's already done, but right now they're getting ready to deliver their retail copies of that one. So it's a nice fun game. Pretty quick. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure this is down your alley at all, Bairnt. So I'm not sure I'd recommend this one to you. But I think you would have fun playing it, but not something you would need. So
okay,
put that way.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm not like Pokemon. I don't need them all.
No. But it's a smaller box, so there you go.
Uh-oh.
So
smaller box. Speaking of smaller box, we'll segue to the next game.
Yes. Do you? I have one I can bring up for a smaller box.
I bet you do.
I wasn't sure you had something in mind, so I was waiting to see
Oh,
what
I
you said.
do. I know my next one was a small box too.
Okay, dude, what is it?
That Kingdom Legacy one. That's like a small box.
Cool, I got it. Let's do it.
This one is Colin's fault. And Colin blames a member of our community because they were the ones when Colin did his top 20 like solo campaigns that he's really loved. Somebody said like, I can't believe you haven't played Kingdom Legacy. And he's like, oh, I'll look into it. And then he bought it. $16 on Amazon. That's how much this is. So if anybody's interested, this is a legacy game. $16 legacy. Can't get better than that, right?
Yeah.
And he, what you're doing is you start with like, basically that box is a deck of cards that's this big. And you start with cards 1 through 10, and you play around. How do you play around? Well, you shuffle those cards together and draw 4. And then on these cards, you can either like upgrade a card, you can draw a couple more cards, you can activate the power on a card or something like this, right? There's like only 4 actions you can do. And then once you decide to upgrade a card, then that turn ends, and then you draw 4 more cards and you do something with those. And then once your draw deck is depleted, you add the top 2 cards from the game deck into these cards, you shuffle them up, and you do it again. That's it. That's all you do. And I was like, okay, that's something. And then of course, as you're doing things in these cards or upgrading cards, it might tell you like, okay, now that you've done this, you can add card 73. So you look through the deck and you find 73 and you can add that one. Or like, oh, okay, you've upgraded this thing twice. At this point, you can add card 98 and 112. And so you put those into your deck. So your deck kind of keeps getting bigger. So your kingdom keeps growing. And then of course, you're able to like get people in your kingdom to do things. You're able to explore more. You're able to, sometimes you get in fights. There's bad guys that come out in the deck that you have to take care of. And I did not expect that. I was like, okay, whatever. $16. We'll give this a shot. Dude, this game is sweet. This game is so good. It was so fun. I gave this to Robin for Mother's Day. And it's addicting because all you do is those 4 cards, and then you get the next 4 cards. And you're like, okay, well, I did those. Let's just see what the next 2 cards are and put those in. Yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Like you just want to keep on doing this over and over and over. It's like card crack. Keep doing it. You don't want to stop. So I was
both you and Colin are like talking this one up because I talked to Colin about it too. He was really hyped about it too. So.
And it's a legacy game, so and it's $16, and it tells you like rip up these cards or something. But the cool thing is, it actually says don't actually destroy any cards until you get to card number blah 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 from the deck, right? Oh. Because they say you could still reset it if you wanted to. If you're like, okay, I kind of get what it's doing, but I didn't think the direction my kingdom was going was the way I was hoping it would. Sure. So then you could reset it and start again. But once you get past a certain point, off the rails. Now you're full legacy. We're talking your cards are getting ripped up. You're writing on cards. You're stickering cards. You're doing all this stuff. But for $16, I could just buy this again and play it.
That's true.
I go a different route.
What's the expansions? What's the ultimate goal of the game?
You figure out how many points you get at the end.
For that first team, you're going to do it. Yeah.
Yep. See, it
sounds
depends
cool.
on how many points. And the funny thing is, it depends on how many points you get. And then you have their website where you can go log in your points and see how your kingdom ranks against other kingdoms in the
Gotcha.
In the land.
So it's just a point score, but you're
but the cool the end goal. It's all about the experience of how you got there.
Yeah. Seems like it. That's cool though. That seems cool.
Like even these first few cards, we've done something Colin didn't do, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm super excited to see how that works for you compared to what I did." Kind of thing. So
cool.
And it comes in a box that's the size of like a deck of cards, maybe 2 decks of cards put together. It's about that thick.
Fricks Games is a publisher, huh? Interesting. Okay, cool.
They did something else. I don't know what it was. Colin does know the other game these guys did. Maybe somebody can help me. I forget.
Oh, they did another game that was pretty popular.
Yeah, another one that was pretty good.
I can look real quick here. Let's see. Was it Terraforming Mars? That's right.
They did Terraforming Mars.
Yep. Defenders of Grimheim, After the Virus. Yep.
Okay. There you go. This is nothing like Terraforming Mars.
No.
But still it's good.
Cool. Let
Recommend.
me go to another small box game. Very small box.
Spoiler alert! If you want a spoiler, this might be Colin's hidden gem this year.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Oh, that's a good question, Chris. They've been pretty pro AI art. Historically,
Oh, are
yes.
they? Sadly, I am so oblivious that I can't tell. I wouldn't know sometimes a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't really like. I would be like, oh my gosh, this is a super cool game, and I wouldn't know that art's AI. I don't have enough know-how to know that kind of stuff unless I really dig into a game. And a lot of times, I don't dig that far into a game to kind of. I mean, I just kind of play the game and like, oh, this game's super cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel bad that I don't really, I don't really know sometimes about that.
It could be AI art. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. I
Not
couldn't
sure.
tell you.
Hard to tell.
But you see the card there. So, like for example, that one you're gonna give when you decide you can either use that for a coin, or if you see the arrow pointing down, if you spend 2 coins, you can upgrade that card.
Amazon Co-op Guild Danger Combo, yes.
That is truth.
Well, this is a cheap one. I hurt you too much. It's only $16.
16.
Let me jump to another cheap one.
Next day.
What's oh yeah, next day exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Let me jump to another cheap one. Also small box. River Rats.
Small box. River Rats.
I literally got this yesterday, and I streamed it yesterday, which is something I told myself I wasn't gonna do, and I did it anyway. But
wow, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I did it before with what was that game? Sky Kingdom. Waste of Parts. I got it the same day of streaming it, which was rough because it's hard to like, and you do as much as you can to prep and understand the game. So I was like, well, after that experience, I'm like, I'm never gonna do that ever again. But this was different because I had played it before because it was on Tabletop Simulator, so I played it there. And honestly, this is a really simple game, so it actually worked out pretty well. So I got it yesterday, streamed it. It is cooperative poker.
Sure.
Cooperative poker with player powers and boss powers. And you try and defeat 2 different bosses before you acquire 5 debt. It's really fun. I really, really like this game. It is literally just a standard 52 card deck with special rules attached to it.
Oh.
But
so
yeah,
you tell me
we
really
played it.
Don't have to buy this game. I can just learn it and play it with my cards that I have.
Technically, yes. Technically, yes. You would need some reference cards and stuff like that, which you could find, but the cards themselves.
I'm sure the game's pretty cheap.
It is cheap. Yeah, it's on Kickstarter right now, and it's only I can't remember. It's in the teens for money. Yeah, pretty cheap because you're buying a standard deck of cards, right, with new artwork and stuff like that. You can also get poker chips for this one. Keep tracking debt, but yeah, this one's been a hit. I have played it. I played it with 2 other people on Tabletop Simulator. All gamers, and then I played it with my son and my wife, and they both really liked it as well. So, it was really fun. Yeah, test of trust if you play with Steve. We screwed up. Oh my gosh, it's a really funny play. Even if you're not interested in the game, it might be worth watching that video just because the agony I came through because I couldn't tell her what was in my hand, and she's like, "What are you doing?" It was pretty funny.
I actually have to watch that now. I feel bad. I didn't get to catch your stream because I was watching the last episode of Andor last night, and we started watching a movie called. No, it was on Apple TV. It's like an Indiana Jones type movie with the guy from The Office. So it's kind of like a.
Oh, that one. Okay, cool.
Oh, it's like the Fountain of Youth or something.
Oh yeah. Cool, nice. But yeah, anyway, really enjoy this one. This is a definite recommend for me if you are into those types of light fun, like if you like trick taking type games or whatever. Definitely like poker. This is definitely buy. If you don't like poker, you still might like it, but it depends on what you don't like about poker. The nice thing is this is fully cooperative and it's just really, really fun. So, and it plays solo.
If you don't like losing your money in poker, then you're totally fine.
Yeah, this was nice because there's no betting in it. So, well, I guess in a way that is, but it's not. It's different. So yeah.
The last time I used my poker set, Steve, was to use them as action chips for my hero clicks.
Nah. Yep. Nice. Nice. So yeah, this one's on Kickstarter. Go check it out. I backed it myself. Easy back. So this one's definitely gonna see play. So.
Nice.
Okay, let's jump to another game. Let's see.
I don't think any of mine are small boxes anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a tie-in. I don't know if I have a tie-in. Oh,
Well,
here
you
you
know.
go. Let's go from one R game to another R game. That's my segue. There you go.
Oh, we're all about the Segways today. All right, so I played Raw recently. So I'd played this with my buddy Brent and he and Ted, and Brent taught this game to me. Super, super easy game to learn. 100% easy to learn. Which is what I'm trying to look for in games right now. Because my other gaming group is not a fan of more than 2 or 3 rules, and then it starts going. Beep! So this is awesome because it's 2 or 3 rules. It is a what do you call it? A auction game where basically tiles come out and then you have to decide if you want to bet on the tiles that are there or if you want to draw another tile from the bag. Once you decide to start a bet, then it starts with the next player, and then they have to figure out you have 4 different tiles on your board that are numbers, and the higher the number, of course, the more you're betting or auctioning or betting to try to get this auction, right? But once you bet that number, you get the number that's in the middle plus all the tiles. So if you're betting a 13 and there's you might win it because everybody's like, I don't need those for that price. That's kind of high or something, or it's just not going to fit my board or something. Then they get all the tiles, but then they have to put the 13 up there and they get whatever number that is. That could be like a 1, which is low. What are you going to win with a 1, right? And then after you keep going, it goes round and around, and eventually there's a timer involved. And if the timer ever reaches the end, and you still have things to bet, and there's still tiles out there, sorry, it all gets cleared, and you go to the next era. And then at the end of the game, you just add up all the points that you score, and you score between rounds, and you score at the end of the game. But that's it. That's all there is. It's super fun, and it's super strategic. It's really cool. So I played this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think 10, 12 times already in about 3 or 4 sittings. Because
Wow.
it's super fast. You can play it like a half hour at the most. I mean, you can go super fast depending on them. If you got people that not necessarily know what they're doing, but because you either draw a tile or you start a batting round. Yep. That's it. There's nothing else really.
Yeah, this is competitive, FYI, so everyone knows.
100% competitive.
But yeah, this is one of those staple
cooperative. There's no solar mode.
No. Yeah, this is one of those staple competitive games I've known from this is one of those that just keeps coming up and talked about. So I've never played it, but
I was surprised at how cool this game was.
Yeah.
Again, another surprise for me. I did because I know it's kind of popular, and my buddy had it. Colin will not touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Does he not like auctions?
I've not played it. He is not a fan of this game. He played it once and said, "Nope, not for me." So Colin, I also know that Colin is not into the auctioning games. He does not like them to begin with. That. So, and that is the prime motivator of this game.
Yeah. For auctioning games, Cyclades is one I liked a lot.
Cyclades?
Yeah.
I'll look that up.
The Greek Isles, and it's a really cool one. You're bidding for the favor of the gods and do different things. So you like the Poseidon to go sailing. You need Athena to build stuff, I remember, and then Ares to go to war. So it's pretty cool. But that's got an auction mechanic too. But that's competitive.
I would go to war against you, Steve.
So cool. Oh, since you said war, let's jump to this one.
Yes.
Segway Day.
Segway Day.
Company of Heroes. So I did an unboxing of this one. I am looking to do more coverage for this one. I am bounced between requests I have to get done and things that I want to do too. So
yes.
Yeah, you know how that works. So I'm trying to get a jump start of this one out there so you guys can see how the solo mode works in a quick format. And I don't know if I can cover this one in this playthrough. I'm going to try to figure that out. It's a lot. It's a big game. Big game. But this is a massive war game. And it supports solo and co-op play, which is kind of the reason why I got to it. I'm praying to Kim go to war. Yeah, Kim hasn't played this game yet. I'm curious how she's going to respond to this one, because I don't think she's played a war game yet. So this is definitely a war game. This is kind of like the war game I've always wanted to go. I always wanted one war game in my collection. This is the one I decided to pursue. But in this, you are choosing a country. So you could be like Britain. You could be the Verkmark. You could be OKW, US. There's a bunch of different countries you could be, and you are starting on different sides of a map. You're basically trying to capture control points. You go to a point, you put your flag on it. You will then every round get those resources. Those resources could be fuel, ammo, who knows, and manpower, or victory points. And basically, you use all those resources, except for victory points, of course, to unlock new buildings, get new units, upgrade your units, buy new units, all that fun stuff as you go and try to gather enough victory points to get to the end score. And the AI works pretty well on this one, honestly. You can grab any. They've got AI deck that kind of gives them their own rules on how they act and control and stuff. And it feels very dynamic. It's not like the AI is always doing the same thing. The AI might move and might fake me out and then go towards a control point or come assault me or who knows what it is. So, is this better than Undaunted? Matthew says. For me, absolutely, absolutely. Undaunted's good. Undaunted's a very different game though, because that is a deck deconstructor almost, where you like instead of deck building, you're trying to take cards out of a deck. That one's pretty abstract. This one is less so. This is to me, Undaunted is a war theme game, while Company of Heroes is a war game. I consider those two different things. A war game is you have it's more tactical base, and you tend to have charts and control points and stuff like that to manage. So it's very different from that sense, I would say. It feels like a very different game, let me put it that way. Is running around in blind range a good strategy? Yeah, you can run around and blast things, that's fine.
Perfect.
So chits and a binder of rules. Yeah, chits. Generally, war games are very chit heavy, for sure, and they tend to have lots of rules and charts for sure. This one, though, I would say it has a lot of rules, but it has a basic. You can you can choose what rules you want to play with. The basic game is actually very approachable. It is very quick and easy, honestly. When we start adding in some of the nuances, it does get more complex for sure. And yeah, the table presence is amazing, this one, because you got all these. Well, it depends what you get, but you got miniature tanks in it for everything. They've got these plastic trays so you can keep everything together. These giant buildings. This is production value wise, you're looking at the quality of something like chip theory games, something that people might be familiar with. Like it's like the cards are plastic and everything. It's just really, really great quality and stuff. So I am impressed, very impressed.
All of the setups and all the different missions and stuff, are they completely what's the word I'm looking for? Not, oh boy, I'm going to use a word and it's not going to be even close to what I'm hoping for. I know it's a shocker, right? Are they all fake? Are any of these like real recreations or like attempted recreations of battles that have been fought?
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
Like I don't see like a Battle of the Bulge scenario. I'm
Right,
sure
that's
you
kind of what I
can.
was wondering. Like, do you have like
Yeah,
a D-Day or Battle of the Bulge? Like, it's those kind of things. Like historic, kind of bigger battles. Like, kind of how would you approach the battle? Like thing like that. But
yeah.
I'm not saying it needs to be.
Right, right.
Because
No.
especially
When I was talking with the designers or some chatting, there was 4 factors they were doing. They were looking at when designing this game. The first one was fun. Second one was balance. The third one was alignment to the video game, and the fourth one historical. So that was the priority. So if you're looking for actual history, it's there's history here because like the units are similar to what they would be, but it's not like in this day these units were here to detect the. No, it's not quite that.
No,
I'm sure you
so
can
the
set it up.
historical thing just kind of comes from the what you're playing with as opposed to where you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. Very much asymmetric Yogi is the big one to say, because all the factions they play very differently and they have different strengths and weaknesses, and then you can also have different units, and each faction you have a commander which changes how they play. So there's a lot of different builds and strategies to go about it. So. Because you gotta click that buy button for Steve. Yeah, it's they're still delivering now for their second edition. Sounds like they are looking at a new faction.
Oh.
So, but they need to figure out if the license is going to extend for that. So some questions on like what's happening, but they're actively working on it. So there's a chance that this will come back on crowdfunding at some point. So,
Nice.
but yeah, it's a really massive, awesome game. So
Yeah, you got. I remember you doing the Kickstarter, showing us everything that came, and you're like, "Should I do an unboxing of this?" Well, considering it came in an army crate,
yeah.
why not?
Yeah. I got two of those crates because I got too much stuff. So it's just like, holy cow, it's so much content. It's awesome though. Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Oh, the Go Full History Channel at aliens. Yes.
Yes.
Aliens.
Yes. They're out
Cool.
there.
All right. So that was Company of Heroes, massive game. Let's see. Do I have another tie into that one? I don't know if I do.
No.
Oh, wait. We could talk about another war game that you've been playing a lot with your son. Let's talk about Warhammer.
Oh, what's this? Warhammer. I've been playing lots of Warhammer. So my son has gotten deep into the Games Workshop plastic crack boxes. He is now interested in these. He builds the miniatures, paints the miniatures, and we play with miniatures and play little toy men, and aliens and stuff. So he is really into Warhammer 40K, but we also have some Age of Sigmar stuff. So these are some things we've been doing on the side. So for those of you that have never played Warhammer before, you're basically build an army, paint the army, and then you play on a usually 4 foot by 6 foot board or table, and you have a bunch of terrain. You move things around with miniatures or miniature with measuring tapes. You measure like ranges. You shoot at each other. You roll a boatload of dice and hope that you roll enough to kill your opponent before they kill you. But more often than not, I mean, now my son is older, he's understood the power of the objective, which is you get the objectives, you get the points. It's not necessarily you have to go beat the other army, right? You might
Right.
just from objective points, and that's really the name of the game. So we have been doing that. He's got a what's he got? He's got a tomb guard. No, not a tomb guard. He's got a death guard army. He's got a demon army, and we've got some Tyranids, we've got Space Marines, we've got then we bought these are, and that was just from the core box. Like the core box gave you like these Tyranids and what do you call it, Space Marines, and the other one that you see there, there's a Skaven Tide one that gave us some Skaven and some dudes with giant hammers and stuff. So we've been using the core boxes, and then he went and bought a Death Guard army as well. And then he told me I was supposed to get an army. So now I bought this. I have a Adeptus Custodes army. He told me that's the one I should get. So I bought one of those. And so we are making the miniatures up, and we're going to paint. He's got his all painted, but I have to make mine and paint them. And then special announcement. Do you have like that? Did you put the siren in I told you for special announcement?
No, you should tell me now. Hold on. I might have something for that. Hold
on. Steve, you're ruining my announcement. What good are you?
Oh, I don't have it on screen. Bummer.
I would be shocked if you actually had one. But anyway, the special announcement is that starting this summer, I think Ridley and I are going to start recording some Warhammer videos for Meet Me at the Table, and we're going to have maybe one a week out for the channel. That's coming soon to Meet Me at the Table. We're gonna have some mini wargaming games as well. Hopefully that is, if people are interested in that, that's cool, and if not, I hope they can be okay with at least one a week coming out, or one a month coming out, at least maybe a couple of a month, depending on the amount of time we get during the summer to do it. But then once school starts up again, we might not do as many, just because we got to concentrate on other things.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's something my kid's interested, so I thought, why not I jump into it too with him and have a good time with it, and then we can record some videos and people can critique my horrible tactics.
This is the big sink of a game too, with time and money and everything. So
that's yes, that is a huge time sink. And also when we came back to this table space concept, it's like there's like, I'm like, I got to get ready for a live stream. Oh, okay. And I come downstairs and there's like just plastic all pooped all over the table. And I'm like, oh, okay. I got to clear all this off so I can get the table ready for the live stream.
Yeah, that's a lot. Never played this one, but war games, miniature games can be pretty fun though. So
This is true, Matthew. That's why I was supposed to pick this army, is because bang for your buck. This one is the cheapest army you can buy. And so that's why I bought this one.
Tim has an interesting comment here. I don't know if you know anything about this, Bairnt, or not, but he says, I read Games Workshop is giving their employees £20 million profit sharing. Wish more companies were like that.
If that's true, I'm going to need them to call my company. Because I would like that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've not heard that, Tim. So if that's true, that's awesome.
That's really neat. Yeah, that's super cool. We don't see, and of course, here in America, there's not as many. I mean, I'm sure England and Europe and stuff have a lot of wargaming GW shops. We don't have many. I don't. There's not one in Minnesota, I don't think.
I used to see a few of them around. I haven't seen one in a long time.
We went to Florida, and Ridley wanted to go see a Games Workshop store, and there was one in Florida. So we had to drive 25 minutes from our timeshare in Florida where my in-laws were.
Yeah.
In order to get to a Games Workshop store. But he was super excited to go. There's the one thing he wanted to go to in Florida. I'm like, not Disney.
No.
Not Universal. Games Workshop.
Just Games Workshop, yeah.
They are fun to build and paint. This is very true. They're fun. I mean, Games Workshop is still one of the leaders of miniatures in the realm. I mean, here's the one guy painted up built so far, and he's super cool. He's got these two swords. I mean, action pose city. Cool. I mean, it's really neat as opposed to like the other games I'm playing where it's like, here's your mini, he's just robot standing there. I mean, so yeah, Games Workshop still is one of the best when it comes to miniatures. And
sounds like I go to San Antonio. They got a lot of them down there. According to Matthew.
All right. Well, don't tell my son, otherwise we're going to have to plan our next family trip down there.
That's right. I found some excuse to get there.
Or maybe tell my son, then I can come see you, Matthew.
All right, let me jump to another game that we played recently. That is also
you have one that has to do with swords and armor and or rat. Oh, good, go for it.
Maladum.
Oh,
this is also a big game. Not as heavy on miniature side. Is a board game, but this one's heavy on the terrain side. Another game with a really cool table presence because you build all the walls. You have all these 3D, all made of cardboard of different terrain. So you've got like fountains and bookshelves and weapon tracks, and you have different elevations. You can have like ladders. You can have platforms up top and everything, and all the terrain in this game is interactable, which is really, really cool. It is a pure dungeon crawler. That's what it is.
Nice.
And the cool thing about it is it's very approachable from like, if it makes sense, it applies in the game. So like, hey, how do you search? You literally open up the chest to see what's inside, like it's really cool.
Oh, okay.
So and then whatever you get in there,
you don't have to roll a search roll to see if you find a chest in the corner.
No, you don't. Yeah. There is a lot of dice rolling though, for sure. And leveling up and stuff like that. Yeah, I do like this game. I have a caveat here because especially after our last play, I feel like the game doesn't scale to players, and I think that's the biggest con for this right now. Because we jumped into this. Admittedly, this Oblivion Small expansion is like the campaign after you play the first campaign. So it's scaled to be very difficult, and so we jumped in there as a one-off, and it didn't work out. We were not strong enough to deal with that stuff. But so between that and the player scaling, I think it needs some like tweaking on the balance it because we were trying to play with just a few characters, but you're supposed to play with like a whole party, and so that was also a negative to what we did there. But the game itself is really fun. However,
full party, he just wanted to play with one character. Oh,
yeah,
that's
exactly. But this one has a ton of rules in it. The game itself is actually fairly simple, but because every terrain has different rule sets, and it's set up to be a very flexible system where you can, if you want to do something in the game, there's a rule that's there. Like, hey, can I dive off this table, attack this guy with an axe? Sure, here's the rules for that, right? Yeah. It's really set up to be a little bit more like an RPG, honestly, in that sense, where like if you want to be creative in how you approach different solutions, it's definitely there. Yeah. But yeah, this is the 3D terrain, Matthew, for sure.
Yeah. Colin played this one. He's like, that was good experience. I'm good with that. Thank you.
Definitely not for everybody, but Kim and I we've been enjoying it. But yeah, she says we figure out you should play with more characters Just two, we should adjust the game. I like it though, but would make it so I get more actions if we don't have more characters. Exactly. So we were talking about house ruling it, so that I think you can easily balance it out if you just have more actions for less characters. I think it'd be okay. So, but yeah, we played that one recently. I have one more expansion I have to cover for that. I'm going to be tweaking it a little bit and talking about balancing with the team a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I like Malin, but wish it wasn't so tight on the time. Yes, Tim, it is a lot to set up. Like you are I found out that assembling the train is very relaxing to me. So it's kind of like I don't know, I'm just thinking like putting stuff together and like even assembling the individual train pieces themselves and gluing them together. That's fun for me. I don't know. I guess that's my version of painting, apparently.
There you go.
Cool.
Yep, I enjoy putting miniatures together, but I'm not on train. That's something else.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful game. So I think Bairnt, you would enjoy playing it. I don't think it's one you would want to own.
Right. I think there'd be one where if I came to Steve's house and it was all set up and he said, "Let's play this," I'd be like, "Okay."
Yes, and I think you would have a lot of fun playing it. But like there's not one I recommend for you. So especially with Robin, like, what is on the table? Why is it so massive? Though, if you play D&D, you could use this for D&D very, very easily. So
it's funny you should mention that. That's why I bought so many games with different terrain and miniatures, was so I could use them in D&D.
Yeah, for sure. My cat's also like laying on the train.
No,
Tim! Oh no!
Sounds about right.
Yep, I can see that. Now, the terrain would not hold up to the weight of a cat. That's for sure. Yoga is getting all the muscle cramps out having sit on the train for 2 hours. Yeah, it is. It's an easy 30 minutes setting up the train. Easy.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. That's not just playing the game and everything.
Reminds me of soccer. Soccer was like that too.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's move on to something else. Let's look at. Let's see. We'll save that for the end. Oh, let's talk about this game. I thought you were done playing this one, but maybe not. You talked about Seventh Citadel.
Oh yeah, I just put out my latest video on this one.
Oh, cool! I didn't miss your video. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you probably did because I remember you're beneath me now. My videos don't go to you anymore.
Nice try. Nice try. That's definitely not true.
Oh, Bairnt's a jerk. Okay, so no, Seven Citadel. This is like, I think this, if I remember right, I put this as my game. If it wasn't my game of the year, it was in the top 5 last when it came out. I think it was last year, right? I think I almost put this as game of the year last year. Seven Citadels is the newest iteration of the Seven Citadel Seven Continent concept. Basically, you have a character, you do actions, and you resolve what it is. How's it going? You get your crown?
Mm-hmm.
Can you show him your crown?
Mm-hmm.
You put it on your head?
Ooh, nice.
Good stuff. All right. He's the king. It's good to be the king.
Good to be the king. That's right.
So Seven Citadel is but this one, different from the Seven Continents, they just don't give you like one card that says, here's what you got to do. This one has a whole book that and a narrative that goes along with it. It actually provides narrative to this game, which is super cool. Dadashim's Awakening is one of them, and there's like 3 different missions in the game. And so the first one, you can pick them in any order you want. Yep. Royalty. That's amazing. And so you pick one of the 3 you want to do, and then you just start playing it. And then it sends you out in the world, and you can level your characters up by adding extra cards or learning more about the world. Which is different from the Seventh Continent. There's a lot of different things in this one does that Seventh Continent doesn't do. That is really good. And there, you don't have to go hunting anymore. You just got life points, stuff like this. So I recommend this one. Even if you haven't played the Seventh Continent, you can still play this. And there's no, there's not like, oh, I remember that from the Seventh Continent, or this place over here was just like in the Seventh. No, this is a completely different standalone game. There's no tie to the Seventh Continent except for the way the game kind of plays in its basic mechanisms, right? Yeah. So I strongly recommend this one. It's still one of my favorites. Super good. So I just actually completed the branching narratives. That's a great question. Actually, there's not a lot of branching narratives in this. It's kind of like when you complete the goal, you go to the next one. If you fail the goal, they'll kind of say like, hey, why don't you reset it and try it again? kind of thing. But I mean, maybe I'm just really good at games, but I haven't failed a mission. So that's fantastic. But I mean, you could fail a mission and just decide, you know what, in this one, I'm gonna go like. And the cool thing is, the game will say like, "Oh, I think there's a tower off to the west that might have what we're looking for." Okay, I know I have to go west instead of just like, "Hey, somewhere in this world is this thing."
Sure.
So it like points you in the right direction. But for one game, you can kind of say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going east and we're going to fail. I just want to see what's east. And you just go experience the world if you want to. It's not, there's nothing saying you can't do that.
I've heard, I'm curious what your thoughts are, Bairnt, that this basically replaced Seventh Continent for people. Like,
it probably did. I don't know if for most, maybe. I still have Seventh Continent. I still think it's great.
Okay.
Mainly because that I think is more of that. Instead of doing just like, okay, here's my mission, I got to go from here to here. Seventh Continent is that one where it's like, okay, you got this, you got to go do it. Where is it? I don't know. Go, just go out in the world and be free. But yeah, they are very different. Does it have branch? It does branch, is what I mean. What? Oh, there are different levels of success in the mission? Yes, there are. Depending on how well you do, different outcomes will happen. This is true. Yeah, and different stories based on it. But like I said, and there's 3 different main stories that you can play through. So it's, and even Colin has watched my video series and has enjoyed it so much that after we're done with the Nanolith and Kingdom Death, because we're coming back to that, he said he wouldn't mind playing a little bit of this with me because it's a very streamable game. Because at any time you just say like, okay, we're done for tonight. You don't have to get to the end. You just leave it set up.
That's nice.
Or even in true Seventh Citadel style, you can tear it all down, and then when you come back out, you just put everything back out again. It's, if you haven't seen the save system, it's got the easiest save system in the world when it comes to tearing down a game, putting the game back out there. They don't mention the fact that you have to put all the cards in the past back into the box. That part's a little takes a while. Not long, but it's just enough to. It goes past the idea of them saying it doesn't take more than 2 minutes to put the game out on the table. Yep, it doesn't, but you still put those cards in the box. And what's the other thing I was gonna say? Whatever. Good game.
Good game. Okay. Let me talk about. I don't have a good time. I don't have any more segues. I was looking for a segue. I don't got one. Okay, let me just jump through this one. All right, I played Paint the Roses recently. There's no segue.
Oh wow, you went back to this one. I haven't played this one forever.
Yeah, we had fun playing this one with you though, Baird. I will always remember. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm so bad at this game.
So this is a cooperative deduction game where everyone's working together to try to put these shrubs in this garden, and you got to fill the garden up to win the game. But as you put them down, you're going to be putting clues on them, trying to give clues to what card you have in your hand. And those cards will give you points. And the reason why you need points is because there is a queen of cards, and she's chasing you around the board. To catch up with you, is off your heads.
Yes,
you're gardener. There you go.
There you go. We're both gardeners. In the actual Seventh Citadel game, you start as a gardener.
There you go. Perfect. Exactly. Thank you, Yogi. So yeah, I played this recently on the channel. And it was with the designer, actually. He reached out. He's like, hey, do you want to cover this recently? Or this game, we can talk about strategy and stuff? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. That'd be awesome. I love this game. This game is fantastic. But yeah, he jumped on, and it was really fun to have him talk about like the different layers of depth you can get to with the the deduction in this one to try to figure things out. It's
all about deception to Steve's world.
That's right. Well, we're playing Bairnt. It's deception.
My world.
That's right. So, okay, story time. What was it? So we were playing this game with Bairnt. It was Bairnt, Colin, I think Colin's wife as well.
Yep.
I think Kim was playing too. She might have been.
I think it was just 4 of us.
Was it 4 of us? Okay, I can't
remember exactly. When you came for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And we decided to play this game, and oh gosh, Bairnt. So in this game, you're supposed to put a tile down and put clues on it. The number of clues you put on tells us a lot of information. And you put like 2 or 3 cubes on something.
Yep.
And then we're talking through it, and as Bairnt's listening to us talk through this stuff, he's like, "Oh wait, that's not right. Let me pull this cube off." I'm like, "Oh great. Well, that changes everything." So So we start talking through this again, and Bear's like, actually, that cube goes back on. I'm like, wait, what?
And they take another one off. It's a different cube. Well, it can't be red because otherwise the
We
red
had no
cube
idea
would be
what's
there.
going on at that
Ooh,
point.
put the
So.
red cube back on there. Well, good.
Oh, Robin was playing. I thought there was someone else.
Okay, we take the white cube off.
Yeah.
So bad.
I knew someone else was playing with it. Awesome. Yeah, this is a great game.
Yeah, parent was struggling.
It's Paint the Roses. Highly recommend. It is really nice because people can if you're just watching the game, you can play, which is really cool. And you can jump in and out of the game really easily. It's super flexible. Big fan of this one. Anyway, cool. So let's move on to something else. Oh, I want to talk about this game with you.
What?
Marvel Dice Throne. Now you had Dice Throne on this, but is this the missions or just Dice Throne?
Dice Throne.
Okay.
We played the competitive version. But my son is not into cooperative gaming. He wants to beat everybody up.
Okay.
So we played this with a couple of his friends, and we played it 4 players, so it's kind of cool. We had 2-on-2 kind of thing. So we played it a couple times with a couple of his friends. We had a good time. It's fun. It's the Yahtzee style game. The characters are all different and all this, and we won. And I don't know if you've had this experience, but it seems like all the times we played, it really comes down to the wire. Like it's a pretty close game every time we play it. There's never a point where we look around and go, "Oh wow, totally blew them out of the water." You know what I mean? So that's what I like about it. I like how tight it usually comes down to in the game. I think it's kind of fun. Very similar to Street Fighter's the miniatures game, which is actually down there as well. Again, another really tight system that when it comes down, that all the games kind of come down to the wire. It's very, very rarely that a game you just totally wipe somebody off the board. And I like those games. I like it when it comes like
that. I only played this once competitively. And I'm trying to remember if it was close. I don't know if it was super close. I don't think it was that close for us, but I wasn't blown out of the water either.
At it, Steve.
What's that?
Probably because you're terrible at it.
I actually won.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Jeez, no faith. I got to the.
I feel really bad for that other person then. No, I'm kidding.
Right?
No, I have noticed that there are, no matter how asymmetric they try to make the characters, sometimes it's almost a paper, rock, scissors. Sometimes there are a few characters where when you look at them just out of the gate, you're kind of like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be a rough hill to climb, but sometimes the dice fall your way and you do well. But
I will say though,
I
missions.
don't really see you playing this competitively because it's really there's not anything too exciting competitively that would make it stand out as a great competitive game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's if someone asked to play competitive, I would, but honestly, I would never ask to play competitive. I like missions a lot though.
Too. The missions are really fun, but that's not how I've been playing it lately.
Yeah, no, missions is great. I do recommend missions, and I had a lot of fun with that. Those missions are hard too. Lose a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like missions enough where I was considering maybe getting some of this, but until missions, I was like, this is an easy pass for me. I don't really care that much. But Derek has all of it, so I'm like. Yeah. I can't justify it. So.
And if you're ever interested in picking it up, you can actually pick up certain parts of the game if you want. I know that I think last time I heard they were planning to kind of, instead of dumping tons of it at a time, they're going to be putting out little mini expansions the whole time. Like, oh, we're putting out this character. Oh, we're putting out this character. Oh, we're putting out this. Like, they're just going to be dropping characters now, I guess, more than they're going to be dropping like, here's 8 characters. You can kind of thing. But I mean, who knows? That model may change as time goes on.
Yep. It's a good one though. Yahtzee for a Yahtzee game, it's a good one.
If it wasn't for the Marvel theme, I don't think I'd own it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I would recommend the competitive version for teen boys. They love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's more mission person. Yeah, me too, Robin. Missions are the way I play for sure.
Yep, so. And that's who I've been playing it with. And it's kind of funny because Rob really is like, oh, they all want to play this game. Like, are you sure that's what they want to play? I mean, they don't want to play like any of the other like video games you have. They want to play this. Okay, we'll play it. Let's rock. Sure.
Yeah. Yep. Let's talk about another
dice. What do you got there, Steve?
Fighting game. Yeah. Let's talk about One Hit Heroes.
Oh, there you go.
Have you played this one, Bairnt?
That's a negatory. That's
okay. I think you'd like this one. I think so. So One Hit Heroes is a cool concept. It's you are playing as a bunch of heroes fighting a boss, but everyone has 1 hit point. So if you die, everyone takes a damage, you lose the game. So it's a very cool premise, and it's a short campaign game. I would say a little bit of a deck builder, honestly, because you're like drafting cards between bosses. But
Okay.
each game is set up to be 4 battles, and as you between each battle, you get new cards to your deck. Very simple in how it executes. Um, I like this one a lot. It's got a tight feel to it, where like you really have to work together. Every time you hit the boss, you get the damage comes to you in form of aggro. So the more damage you deal, the higher aggro is, the more likely the boss is to attack you or to
Okay.
attack in general. So it's a fun like balancing system, and each of the bosses acts very differently. It's a cool game. I like this one a lot. I think you'll like this Bairnt. Now, the downside to it is I think the box is really big.
Cool.
For what it is, like it's really nicely organized. Everything's got a spot. I mean, production's good and everything, but like for the style of game, I was hoping the box would be a lot smaller. But
Yeah.
it's okay. It's still fun. So yeah, One Hit Heroes. This one I'd want to play with you at some point. So
Okay. We'll do it.
I think Colin might have got this one.
I think he has this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You have to
He
let
and
me
he's
know
played it
when.
with his kids, I think.
Yeah, definitely let me know when you play it because I think you might like this. So.
Nice.
Okay, let's jump to, let's see, kind of getting towards the end of our list. Oh, let's talk about a game I haven't played in forever. I was happy to see you pull this up. That's out.
Oh, Dresden Files. So I went
Yeah.
over to Colin's one day, and we were supposed to play Pandemic Season 0 with Brent, Monica, Colin, and myself. And Brent was on call.
Uh-huh.
And so right as we were about to sit down and play, he got a message on his computer, and he typed a few things. He took a call, and then he hung up, and he looked at us, goes like, I'm sorry, guys, I got to go. And he had to go back home because he had to go deal with like an issue at work. He was on call.
Sure.
And so we had a game all set up. And so Colin's like, okay. So we picked up the whole game, put it away, which is one of the, I would have to say, the downside to board gaming is the fact that you can't just go like this off.
Yeah.
You have to pick the whole game up, put it away. You know, that's the only like downside to board gaming is the fact you actually have to put games away. But sometimes it's fun to put a board game away. That day was not a fun day to put board game away. So put the whole game away, and then Colin goes, "How about I'll just go grab a game?" So he went and he grabbed which one was it? Dead Cells. He brought Dead Cells down, and he started to pull things out, and he's like, "Okay, you remember how to play this game?" And Monica looks and goes, not really. I can't remember. Okay, well, that's okay. I remember. And so we kind of started setting up. He's like, you know what? I don't remember fully how to play this game. So no, we're done. And so put that game away. Off it went, right? And then he comes back down Dresden Files. He goes, I know how to play this one. And so he put Dresden Files out, and he's like, and he goes, let's play this. And basically, this game, you're trying to basically it's a card game where you're playing cards to do things on the board. You're trying to stop things from happening. And at the end of after a certain amount of time, then the end of the game hits, and you have to have a certain amount of things completed versus how many monsters there are. And if there isn't, then you have to roll a die, and it comes down to a die roll whether or not you win, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
because it's so fast. It really doesn't matter if you lose or win. It's just super fast, super fun. Every character is different to play, but you always have to play as Harry
Dresden. Yep.
Harry Dresden. You have to play as Harry Dresden no matter what. But then there's like a whole list of other characters you can play as, which is kind of cool. So actually, I am picking this game up from him today because I have some friends coming, and one of my friends' favorite book series is Dresden Files. So we're gonna play that.
He's gonna love it then. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have a good time.
I feel like if you haven't read the books, you would still enjoy this. But like if you know the lore, you probably really enjoy this.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
he's gonna go all fanboy all over it, and we're just gonna sit there and going, okay.
This is a cool game. I haven't played this one in a long, long time, but I remember this having a very strong puzzle element to it.
Yes, it does, because you got to, and if I remember right, it's. The thing about it is you have cards that you can do stuff with, but if you can also discard a card to get a resource back, like I don't know what the resource is called, but you can get the resource back that then other people can use that resource to play cards. And you got to kind of talk amongst the table to figure out like, hey, I got a card that can get rid of that card right there, but I need 6 in order to do it. And they're like, oh, okay, well I can discard this to give you 4, but then I'm not going to be able to play this really good card kind of thing. So yeah, you got to go back and forth.
Exactly. That's a good one.
Robin wrote the first book. She hasn't gotten too far into it though.
Yep. Cool. Okay, let's keep going. Let me jump to. Actually, I should talk about this one earlier. Where is it? Here it is. Let me
Yeah,
jump
come on.
to.
What were you thinking, Steve?
I don't know. I
On
wasn't
the
thinking
ball.
apparently.
On the ball.
Another book series, Lord of the
Oh,
Rings.
yep. I almost thought about playing this tonight. This was the other one I was thinking about playing tonight.
Yeah, the trick taking game. I've been playing this one regularly. This one
Mhm.
I haven't put it on the channel because honestly, I don't think it's a good game to
Mm.
stream. Honestly, it's just
No,
one. It's really
no.
fun to play, but like watching it.
It'd be like, hey, I'm going to stream us playing Hearts.
Yeah, exactly. Woo!
Ooh,
Yeah, back to Segways. Exactly, Chris. Trying to make it work.
that's right. Love it.
Trying to make it work. So yeah, Lord of the Rings trick taking game. This is a standard trick taking game, fully cooperative, 1 to 4 players. Actually plays really well one, honestly. Um, and this is based upon the first Lord of the Rings book. As it goes through the story, the story is very light in this, if
Oh yeah.
any. Like, it's there, but it doesn't do anything. Put it that way.
No.
But the theme is there as
Yes.
much as you probably could for a trick taking game. Where like, okay, Frodo needs to gather the rings, that makes sense, ring cards or whatever. And so they've got some in there. But honestly, if you're looking for a thematic game, don't go out this one. But if you're looking for a really good trick taking game, this is an excellent choice. It's chapter based. As you play through the game, it gets more and more complex as you unlock more characters, have new goals and stuff like that. It is very playable. There's no legacy element in it as well. And we've been playing this for a while. We're only on mission 11 out of 18, so we're a good chunk way through it. But there's a lot. Yeah, great game. You like the crew more. Yeah, I want to do a comparison on this one on the channel, I think, Gunnar, where I think they both hold a different spot because the crew is more replayable long term. I feel
Mhm.
like Lord of the Rings is more heavy, I would say. There's more different things to do in here than the crew.
Well, I also like and I think they're both very good, and I
They're
don't
both
see a
very
reason why not having either one of these, especially because, just like the crew, even though the crew doesn't really have a story behind it, the Lord of the Rings story is so light that you could pick up and play any one of those missions and just
Yep.
enjoy it. It's not like you have to be like, okay, we got to play the first one in order and oh, I played through it all, so now I don't want to play it again. No, there's nothing about like this game that says you can't. It's a card game before a trick taking card game before it is anything else.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. Matthew says, shout out to the Plays the Thing if you want to see this played solo. Cool. So I guess there's a really good
Oh,
solo video. I'm not familiar with the Plays the Thing, so cool.
I'll have to check that out. You know who I've been watching a lot of? I don't know if you've heard of this group, Dicing with Death.
I don't
You
know
heard of
them.
this group? They
Yeah.
do a lot of Awakened Realms games. They also they just that's the reason I did This War of Mine covered it was because of them.
Oh,
They did a
cool.
cover of This War of Mine. And I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't played that in forever, and so I went and played it again. They're super cool. For those of you who don't know, please go check out Dicing with Death as well. They're UK based, I believe. Cool. They seem like very cool people. I've never obviously ever met them, but the production value is something I've never seen before either. They do the whole like board on the table, but then he has it set up, or she, I think it's he that does the controlling of it, that he can press buttons and like kind of like the card slides in. He has every card programmed in as like an image, and it can just come up. And I'm thinking about it going like, there are 700 cards in this War of Mine, and you scanned them all in? That's out of control. Like, nope, I'm doing the flat all green screen. There's the card.
Yeah, that's
So it's really amazing what
intense.
they do, and I don't know how he does it. I haven't really reached out about that,
I'm
um,
curious. Yeah.
but they do a really good job. And
Yeah.
they really they do a lot of Nemesis. And like I said, do a lot of Awakened Realms games. But they're breaking out now into a lot of other cool games as well. But
Cool.
they're neat group of content creators that I just recently found. And they're up and coming, and I wish the best for them. They're
I
really
need to
cool.
check them out too. Yeah, Team Covenant does it too. But Team Covenant, they have a team like a producer behind the scenes doing it, right? It's a lot easier when you have someone not in front of the camera controlling it. Honestly,
Mhm.
you'll see me. I've got the controller here. You guys can be able to see. Whoop, there it is, and it winds up being a lot.
Yeah, I've
So,
got one of those too. Mine has more buttons than I can handle. You think if I had 4 buttons, that'd be good, but no, I got like 10, and so I screw it up.
it's funny because I got a medium-sized stream deck thinking it would be big enough, and I am kind of full. Like I could easily go up and leveled. So because I've got a lot of. I gotta go down a few layers to get to controls and come back up because everything I've got too much on a given page. So
I'm lucky if I can hit the right button.
that's true.
And I've only got 5.
So hit the wrong button. No.
Nope. That's why we don't deal with, like, I know you're able to slide things in, you're able to do all these things. Like, I don't have time to figure that out, nor do I have the time to add all those assets in, nor do I have the ability to hit all those buttons the right way.
Yeah, it's got to do this up. There's a lot of random buttons in there. Yeah, Greg's asking, what was the name of that channel again you mentioned?
Oh, Dicing with Death is the name. I'm gonna have Steve put a link in the description.
Every time.
In case people are wondering, that's a huge joke. That started like almost our first stream ever, where it's like, oh, you should put a link in the description. She's like, sure, I'll get right on that. Oh, it's too good.
Yeah, so like me. Yep. Okay. Anyway. Get back on topic here.
There we go.
Yeah, though the restricted game, fantastic game, highly recommend it. Especially like the crew. I own both. I'm happy to own both. They're really good stuff. So why do you put up with them?
I know.
Oh, good stuff. All right,
he keeps reaching out to hang out. I don't know why he does that.
I haven't learned my lesson yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're pretty good on talking about things. I want to end on one note though.
Yeah.
So there is a game that is coming up that we're both, actually Mike is too from One Stop Co-op Shop.
Yeah. Yes.
We're all working on it this weekend. Let's talk about this one briefly. So a little sneak preview to you guys who stuck around the whole time.
If you are still here, you are going to know what is coming on Meet Me at the Table.
That's right.
Co-op Guild and One Stop Co-op Shop.
We're working on Echoes of the Sundering. This is the Wilderforge that is publishing this one. This, I'm just like getting to it now. I think this looks like a really cool game.
Yes, this game does look amazing. The only reason I even heard about it was Mike actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, heads up, I played this on Tabletop Simulator. This one's a good one." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I reached out to the designer and said, "Hey, we'd love to do some coverage for you." And he's like, "That'd be awesome." And so he's going to send out I'll send out a copy to you. I'm like, "Awesome." So we all pretty much got the copy at the same time.
Correct.
And so, but we also got a message saying like, "Hey, just a heads up, due to everything that's going on, we're not really sure when we're going to launch. We might wait till the summer." And just recently, we all got an email saying like, "Hey, we're getting ready to launch. So I hope you guys have content for us." We're like, "Yep, we do. We're going to get it ready for you."
Yep.
So we're all concentrating on this game right now.
Exactly. Work on it. So briefly, what is it? This is a narrative adventure game, I would say.
Yep. I would go with that.
I guess the way to describe it. It has some deck construction as you play. It's not like you build the deck before you play the game, but as you go through the adventure, your deck is going to change as you encounter different things, find equipment, all the fun stuff.
It's almost like a leveling up concept in like more in like a dungeon crawler type game. But this is, like he said, a very narrative game.
Yeah.
Where it is a book.
Mm-hmm.
It has a book that kind of goes, it's a very Oathsworn style book narrative where it's like, okay, you go to this location, start reading one, or like a Tainted Grail type thing where you read 1.1. And it's like, do you choose to do this? Do you have this keyword? Then go here. If you not have this keyword, go here. Or you can just choose not to do either one of those. Then you could go here and then you read that excerpt out of the book. And then in that one, it might say, do you have the tag disgruntled check off? Okay, if you have disgruntled, check off, go to number da-da-da-da-da. If you don't, you can go here, 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 or here. So it does have that concept going where based on some of your choices, it'll affect how the narrative progresses.
Right.
And you have different locations you're going to. And you start off basically deciding what kind of class you want to be. Mm-hmm. Also what your background is, and also what your race is. Once you get all those, that constructs your deck. Mm-hmm. And then as you play through it, depending on your choices, you're going to unlock certain cards that you're going to be able to put in your deck. And not only that, your cards can upgrade. You can flip them like Slay the Spire concept, where you just flip the card in the sleeve and it becomes a more powered up version of the card. Or it could be it could do a completely different thing than it originally did. I've noticed in some of the cards I'm playing. And so I've already picked my class and my stuff because I've been kind of trying to learn the game a little bit. And then depending on the amount of players you have, That's how many people control a deck.
Right.
If you don't have enough players to meet the 3 or 5 player requirements, you're using what are called companions, which just have a list of different abilities that you can pay a resource called stamina to use. And you also have stamina to play your cards, and you have to pay this stamina to play the certain cards to be able to put them out on your thing. And you have ones that are just like more other games similar to it. You have instant cards, you've got
assistant cards,
you have progressive cards, you've got action cards, things like this. And the turns in combat are very fluid. You can choose to play a card that you could do some, that person could do something, that person could do something again, then this person could do something, and you keep going until all your stuff is played or you decide to stop. Then the enemy activates and you draw tokens out of a bag to decide who that person attacks. And based on the actions you perform that turn determines how many things are not only in the bag, but also on top of the bag, which is a cool mechanic.
Yeah.
Because if it's on top of the bag, that automatically gets hit.
It's a taunt mechanic.
It's random.
Yeah, it's very cool. This is a campaign. It is a campaign.
100% a campaign.
How long does it go? I don't know how to just answer that.
I do not know the length of the game because we got prototypes, so it really is just kind of the beginning of the game. Right. We don't have the full onset of it, but I'm not 100% certain on this. Maybe Steve knows the answer. They might have the preview page up on the crowdfunding site. I don't remember, though.
I don't know if that's up. I know the website is up.
We can the website, okay. At least the website's up, which you can find a lot more information about the game. Like I said, Steve and I are going to be working on it together just to make sure we completely grasp the way the game plays, because the rule book is well done, but you never know. Sometimes the way people interpret rules can always be a little bit different. So we'll be going back and forth to kind of say, how do you interpret this? How do you not interpret? Like, how would you think this works? And then that way we can also, if we're not sure, we can reach out to the designer, which as content creators, we do have a tendency to reach out to the designers because they're excited to see their game done the right way. Right. And we like to show the games the best we can, even though we're all human and we all make mistakes on the way things are done, and we also misinterpret the way things are meant to be as well.
And this one is the rulebook seems good. I don't have any issues there. My struggle with this one is it's designed in a way that I don't learn best, meaning that, like, for me, I learn best with the rulebook having everything in it, and then I just read through that, I'm good to go. This is set up so that here's the rulebook tells you the rules for sure, and it's fine, no issues there. But in order to understand how the game unfolds and works, you have to actually play the game. It's a tutorial type game where it's like, you read the rulebook, you understand the pieces. Now let's go through and see how the pieces go together, right? Yeah.
And then they'll say, like, okay, so welcome to this world.
Right.
What class do you want to be? And then they give you a list of all the different classes and a little snippet about what each of them kind of does. And then they say, if you pick these classes, take these cards out of the deck and they're out of the box, and these are your deck of cards. Now, based on what race you have, then this is you had these, and you had these. So I'm sure in the long run, there's gonna be an optimal setup. But I mean,
for me, it's like, as I sat down, like, well, where's my deck? How do I do this? I just have to trust the process, So.
You do. You have to trust them. And the good thing is, if as you play through the tutorial, it'll say, like, okay, now you're going to do this. If you're interested, check out page 18 in the rule book to really grasp what this is. Oh, okay. So I'd have to go back to the rule book. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but and I don't have any problems. Steve is a major problem. I don't have a problem. Steve is a major problem.
It's just not how I learn best. So
I don't have a problem.
It's fine. I'm not struggling
with it's fine. It's fine.
It's not. It's just it's different. So,
but it is coming to crowdfunding, from what I understand. This summer.
The notified link is active on Kickstarter. He says so.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you, Yogi. So long story short, we will be covering this. So I don't know when these videos will drop, but a little behind the scenes peek for everyone who's with us today.
I hope to work on it this weekend and maybe start recording it hopefully this week. But with Memorial Day weekend here in America, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. So cool. That, my friends, is what we have for co-op chat for today. I know we want it's a pretty good time stuff.
We call this one retro chat. This was the OG right here.
The OG, yeah.
The only thing we didn't do today was talk about upcoming games. Oh no, we did. We covered it all. We remember remember when we originally did this? You used to be like, I'm going to talk about a few things that are coming to crowdfunding, and then we're going to kind of talk about a topic. Maybe it might be the games we're playing or something in a game. That's how it all started.
Yep, kind of broke that down into different sections now that I think about it. So, because now
Yep,
the co-op corner is the news now. Yep,
it is. See, look at you expanding.
yep. That's fun. That's awesome. Anyway, I'm glad we were able to sit down and chat, Baron. Thank you so much for taking the time to discuss. I always have fun chatting with you. It's always a good time. So,
Oh, same here, man. That's why I always say yes.
I would say yes. I'm gonna ask the question. I think I already know the answer, but do you know what's coming up on your channel?
Kind of,
Oh,
kind
okay.
of. Yes. First off, Matthew is running a retirement home at his house,
Oh,
and
shit.
And
Ooh, 17
Neil
year olds.
Bears
Yeah, that's
playing Shadows of Brimstone and Arkham Horror. That's what's going on in the world. In case people want to know.
cool.
But meanwhile, over on Meet Me at the Table, we are going to be doing some more Nanolith on Tuesday. That's the plan.
Okay.
I have the final episode of Seven Citadels Dadashim's Awakening dropping this week. Colin is doing games. And then I have to decide when I was doing what, and then I'm going to be working on that Echoes game. That's going to be the Echoes of whatever. I'm going to be doing that one. That's kind of coming up. I was going to jump back into like some of the older games again, because if you haven't noticed, we've been doing a lot of older games just because it's been fun to pull those old games off the shelf and play them. Like I did Myth, he did Dark Tower, which is also set in the same universe, and what is it, Dark Tower? Dark Frontiers, I think is what it's called. Something like that.
Yeah.
What is it called? I don't know. Anyway, we've been doing that. It's been fun. It's been fun for Colin and I just pull old games off the shelf and playing them, which has been super fun. So that's what we got. What about you? You doing fun things?
Working on Sundering, Echoes of Sundering this weekend, of course. Yeah. I want to get a video for Company of Tears out because it's Memorial Day weekend here in the States, and I feel it'd be kind of appropriate to time that, right? So I'm not sure I'm gonna get my jump start done by then, but that's coming hopefully next week, if worst case. So, because I want to get this, like I said, this echoing content done first. Otherwise, Marvel Mondays, and then Wednesday, I'm either going to get back to Assassin's Creed briefly, or I want to get Stars of Icarios played too, because that arrived, but I haven't covered that yet. So we'll see. I've got a couple of, I think it's the, I do have another game coming as well, but I won't have time to cover that on the channel yet. Yeah, Exoterra is another game we're covering sometime soon, but that'll be a recorded video. So
nice.
A lot of stuff behind the scenes. So
we got a saw. Got that too.
Okay, good. We're all set. Okay.
All set. Got
Cool.
this. Nailed it.
But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us for this chat. I really appreciate everyone here. We always have fun with this one. If you guys have any topics you want to see discussed, let us know. We do have a few in the backlog. I wanted to save some of those backlog ones till when Derek's back. But yeah, we'll have the other ones too. I want Stars of Cards till Steve teaches me it. Oh, no pressure then. I got it. I will probably be doing the one-off battle system. So.
Stars of Cards did just put out their how to play videos.
Yep, they came out too.
And the guy who does, I think it's their studio that does it.
Was it their studio that does it? I thought they.
I know last time it was their studio that did it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they're using someone else this time. I
okay.
can't remember his name. At least the guy who did Mythwind.
Speaking of which, it's the same guy.
Yeah, well, I think it's the different guy that did, because there was a guy who did awesome Mythwind video, but now they had.
Yeah, that was like coffee or something, and
I can't remember.
Wasn't like something coffees or something. He was really good. He was cool.
Amazing. But they had someone else who did it, the new version of Mythwind. I can't remember who did it off the top of my head. I apologize, but he did an amazing job as well. I wonder if that's the same guy who did Stars too. I'm not sure. But I'll have to look. But yeah, we'll try to cover Stars of Icarios sometime soon here. I'm thinking Wednesday for that one, and then we'll see what happens from there. So cool. Hey, Ryan, nice to see you here. You missed the Company of Tears talk. So is it earlier? Speaking of games you played, I did mention this real quick. I did sit down with Brian, who's designer of Avatar. So I did demo that recently. We had an awesome game. We played on the super hard difficulty level, and it was so much fun. So yeah, we'll see. That's got a ways to go before it gets released, though. Delivered. But all right, I'm meandering. Yeah, reel me in, Baird. Reel me in. So...
You're talking to Meander City over here.
That's true. That's true. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time at the guild. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone.